Hello everyone, it's me, TONIK TZW. We're here with another video from the Hsienyang as I finish the grind towards Tier 8. Now, if there's one thing that I hate seeing in games as a destroyer player, it's aircraft carriers. And if there's anything worse than being a destroyer in a game with an aircraft carrier, it is being the only destroyer in a game with an aircraft carrier, because you can guarantee that they are going to make your life a misery. We're on Shards, it's domination, and as a destroyer it's going to be my job to spot, capture and kill. But my life is going to be made very, very difficult. At a very early stage in this match, I realised that this carrier knew what he was doing. He was very, very good at what he was doing. And I think being able to spot a good carrier player and a bad carrier player only comes with experience and games played. But there was something that happened in this game that made me realise very quickly that I'm going to need to be on my toes. And let's just say that I wasn't quite as dainty on my toes as I could have been. And it all nearly went so horribly wrong. I can see the torpedo planes coming across. Now we have got a division there with the Monarch, the Amagi and the Saipan. And I kind of hit the brakes for a second here, just staying outside of the detection range of those torpedo planes. This guy is scouting around, but that is what most decent or reasonable carrier players will do at the start of a game. He's dropped a couple of torpedoes so as to save some planes, and now he is going to go and hunt for a target. And as he's going away from me, I decide that I'm going to sneak into this capture point. I can see that I've got a target off to my right. Red team only have one destroyer too. There is the Monarch out there in front of me. And as soon as I touch that cap, look, those planes are turning round and coming for me. Now this is one of the reasons you need to keep your eye on the minimap so that you're aware of what is going on around you. And like all good carrier players with torpedo planes, he is going to come hunting for me. Now I do have my AA turned on because there are other ships that can spot him, and I can help to take those planes down because this has reasonable AA. You know, we've taken down 2 planes, but then I make a bit of a mistake and I eat a torpedo. So yeah, I'm going to turn around and get out of here, because there is no point in me hanging my ass out on a cap, especially with a Kagero coming in on me, and especially when everybody else is just hanging back and there is very little support. But it's nice to see that some ships do put fire onto that Kagero. He puts his torpedoes out. I've got them spotted. We're going guns. We're thinking this is going to be the first kill of the game. But no, there we go. The Monarch takes it. But I'm not going to complain. That is Red Team's destroyer out of the match. They've also lost a cruiser. Now, that carrier knows exactly where I am, and here come the planes again. Now, what I don't want to do is sit there and wait for him to come and find me on that cap. So I decide I'm going to bug out. I'm going to get the hell out of there, and I'm actually going to turn and run towards these guys at the back of the map, because if they can hang at the back of the map, then I can hang at the back of the map too. There we go. There is a second torpedo, taps me on the ass because I wasn't quite agile enough. And my reason for heading back towards these guys was A, to show them that if they can be at the back, then I can be at the back too, but also that they have a much better AA bubble than I do. And Also, its psychological playing is that a carrier knows that I'm headed back for these guys. He is not one to come and throw his planes away in a big anti-aircraft bubble around two battleships and a carrier. So I've left B. I normally will play my cap. B cap on this map is quite hard to play, but I decide that I'm going to push across the sea and see what I can see. Our carrier is out here hunting battleships, and damage there isn't a destroyer to be taken care of anymore. But as you can see, we've got 3 ships lined up around the south end of A cap. We've got the 2 battleships and the carrier there towards the south side of B cap, and I'm across here on C with 1 dead ship on blue team. Red team currently have the advantage on points, and they are also going to have the advantage on caps. Now, if anything, they should be able to get this guy reset. There's a reset. Zetan's here. I'm thinking sonar secondaries don't want to be spotted by him. I know the Alabama's out here somewhere because he hasn't been seen anywhere else, but the question is, where is he? So I'm going to keep pushing over, staying just outside of the sonar range for that Zetan. I imagine he's running it on that cap, and there is the Alabama tucked in right on the corner of the island. Now, I've said it in other videos that the Hsienyang it's not a bad boat, but it's not a good boat. The deep water torpedoes really do limit you because they're very slow, and although their detection range is very short, because they're slow, it does mean that even big battleships have plenty of time to maneuver and try to avoid as many as possible. The spreads are often random with big gaps between individual torpedoes, and other times you'll get a perfectly even spread. But we're hitting our smoke screen. We've got torpedoes coming in again, and it's like, right, I know you're in division with that guy. We've got 2 battleships there. You can be spotted. Torpedoes are heading your way. Let's see what we can lay under this guy. But there we go. Look at that. At maximum range, you can literally sail a battleship between those torpedoes. I take a 3rd hit, and it's because I'm going to be very much the focus of this carrier, the focus of the Alabama. The Zetan is out there as well with his, was a Zetan, wasn't it, with the secondaries. I narrowly avoid taking a 4th torpedo, and it's like, holy crap, what is going on here? The Zetan has sailed across the middle of the map, completely ignored by those 2 battleships at the back. I've got not very long left in my smoke, so I'm going to try and get a fire on that guy, and we are going to start moving. And then I think it's at this point that I'm going to experience a little bit of trauma, because look behind me, there's the carrier, and it's going to get worse than that. And I'm thinking, there's the carrier, that's okay. The battleships will delete him. I've got him spotted. Like, next reload, they're going to focus him and delete him from the map. I'm going to run away as fast as I can. I'm watching the counter for my torpedo reload. I'm watching the counter for my smoke. The shells on these guns are very, very floaty. There we go. The Alabama takes a pop at me. This Graf, give him his due. We did have a brief chat after the match, and I GG'd him, and he said, I didn't realize you had 4 smokes, so he thought I'd burnt all my smokes at this stage and was using his speed to try and close me down. And I realized why he was trying to close me down very, very shortly. But you can see that the Zetan secondaries are onto me from all the way across the map. I've hit the white line. Smoke is available, and I am going to turn now. But check this out. Almost at 9 kilometers, his secondaries kick in, and I'm thinking I am royally shafted now, because He's got planes up. He's got me spotted. His secondaries are lighting me up. The Alabama's behind him. And I'm just wondering, what the hell are these two battleships doing there in the middle? Because they should have slapped this guy off the map by now. Surely we narrowly avoid torpedoes again. We have to take a breather. We go back onto guns and we start popping the shots at him. Because I realise the only way I'm going to survive this encounter is if he dies. And I think this is at the point he realises that I actually had more than 2 smokes, because although he's pushed forward, he is now going to slam the brakes on. And I made the mistake earlier launching a little bit too early, because I didn't see the indicator ticking back as he put it into reverse, but now he has pushed too far forward. He's overcommitted. The torpedoes are running. His planes will spot them. He's got them up for his security. He probably knows those torpedoes are on the way. But I am certain that even with just one of those, we can take the kill. But no, the battleships finally decide to put a salvo onto him and take that kill away from us. So we lost the Kagero at the start to the Monarch. The Massachusetts takes that one away from us, and now we've got the Alabama pushing in. The carrier is still hovering around us with planes. The Alabama is dialed in on my smoke screen, and I'm still not certain that I am going to survive this encounter. But thankfully, the shots are coming in off the battleships. The Alabama has not taken the opportunity to load high explosive, and we managed to avoid those. So knowing we've got between 25 and 30 seconds for him to get his next salvo off, we are going to get out there. We're going to load torpedoes, thinking, just in case he picks up speed. But he tries the rear turret of justice on us. We didn't see that one coming. But we've got a narrow spread, we've got a wide spread, we're closing them down, and I'm thinking, you twats at the back who've been sniping these kills, I'm not letting you have this one. The carrier misses his bombs. We're 18 planes taken care of. We're only 2 off a clear sky. But we're not going to get them, unfortunately. But what we are going to do is get that Alabama. So, potentially 3 kills in this game. But we'll take 1 so far anyway, and we're down to 20% of our hit points. So we've tried to fight, we've had to run, and then we've had to stand our ground and literally do whatever we could to stay alive. We have got an advantage here in ships of 2. We have got an advantage in points of around 80. But with 3 minutes, say, on the clock, red team still have a chance of pulling this one back, especially with 2 capture points. So now I am going to run for C-cap and try and get this one under our control. And we still have those 2 ships at the back. They've literally probably not moved more than 2 or 3 kilometers in the entire game, if even that far. And I really wish they could have given me a little bit more support at some stages of this game. But they are still alive. They are now piling the fire onto the Iowa, who realizes he does need to turn and run if he is to survive this game. Red team down to 2 ships. There are less than 2 minutes on the clock now. You see how floaty these shells are. It's really difficult to get an aim. So even a big ship like an Iowa, can outturn these shells watching them come in. We did get a fire. He's damaged conduit. We're going to stay on him and then dip behind the island because his guns were looking the other way. So we're hoping we can get back onto him as we come past here. But what I'm looking for is which way his turrets are pointing, and it's difficult to see when they're pointing straight at you. But if you look at the rear turret, you can see that it is still pointing to the rear, but then we see that his front turrets are turning in my direction. So we're going to try and play a little bit safe. We're not going to put the guns on. We want the capture point just in case we do lose another ship. He is burning, I think. The carrier is onto him. We're just going to whack those torpedoes out just in case he decides to make a run in this direction. And then we're going to use the end of this island. There we are. Look, he's looking straight across. But I've got the cap. I don't think it matters if I die anymore. Torpedoes are going in on him. And here we go. Let's have a look. There we are. We can fire. We're not spotted. We're getting the shots across the top. We've only got the rear turret going over, but the carrier picks up the kill with 19 seconds left on the clock. How we have survived this one, I have no idea, because that Graf Zeppelin played an absolutely stonking game trying to hound me off the map, and I think the only consolation there is that all the time that he spent going after me, he was not going after anybody else. So I like to think that even though that's a low damage game, what do we get there? Nearly 200 gun hits, 18 planes shot down, 2663 on the base XP. We do get top of the board, and there's the Massachusetts with his 1 kill, and the Monarch with their 1 kill as well. Yeah, they should have been mine. So there you go, just to prove that you can survive in a game with an aircraft carrier as a destroyer captain, and even with a very competent carrier commander like that guy there. Yeah, it's a lot harder, but it's still possible. Click one of these links, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you have enjoyed it. You know, stick around and watch some more. Until next time, take care of yourselves, and goodbye.